So, one of the questions that came in is that people are feeling like the social energy is becoming increasingly polarized and the social dynamics are becoming increasingly polarized. How can we as individuals deal with that?
I think 90% of the social discourse, which is polarized, is just crap. And I think the thing that we have to do is just ignore most of it. And, my attitude is I'm going to try to treat the people I share my life with as much love and kindness as I possibly can, and the rest of it I'm going to forget about. And it's complicated in America. You've got lots of people, sort of fearful and stressed. You have the alt-right, and they say there is such a thing as an alt-left. I personally am highly suspicious of this alt-left thing, and the anti-fascist thing. Maybe it exists, but my own feeling is, frankly, that the alt-right, that some of the people like, the Koch brothers or the Mercers, some of the really rich people are creating organizations, they're funding people to go out and dress up and wave Antifa signs. I mean, for the most part, the people who we would call the alt-left or the radical left are people who care about other people. The thing that the alt-left is really upset about is that the billionaires are sucking all of the money out of the economy, and promoting racism and hatred, in the country. So that is not an environment where I think automatically, anybody that I have ever encountered on the left is going to justify violence. One of the things about my own leftward movement was the realization, before the Vietnam War, in the civil rights movement, that violence accomplishes nothing. Violence begets more violence. And it was Martin Luther King who really put me, personally, on the path of nonviolence. And it is a path that I believe most of the people who we think of as alt-left or, people like myself who are basically socialists, I think that we are, for the most part, a very nonviolent, very life-valuing perspective. And so I don't believe there's an alt-left. I've diverged from your question a little bit, but America is complicated. The media is complicated. I mean, Facebook is, if you go on Facebook, it's, either scares the crap out of you or confuses the shit out of you, or there's, some empty platitudes that fill the space in the middle. If you read the news, it's like, oh my God. Depends on which news you read. If you read Fox News, Barack Obama is a criminal. I really don't think Obama was a criminal. It's all very confusing. I really revert back to the answer to my first question, which is we should build that good feeling in ourselves. As the world becomes more confusing, I personally have focused more on taking care of my connections with my loved ones and taking care of my own health and the quality of my own life. And this is not in any way narcissistic, because I'm every day practically, opening myself to share my life with anybody who comes along. So I'd say skip the news, stay focused on your real life. Be nice to the people at work, even if they, wear Confederate uniforms and talk horse shit. Still be nice to them. And keep your own views to yourself until comes time to vote. And we will get through all this crap.